Not like anybody watch this bitch anyway. Look at this. That smile. That smile hard. Well, let me see here. Man, it's fucking hard to find some breast milk around here. So, nigga back. You feel me? Um. So, like I said, I'm gonna keep this real rugged and raw. If people don't listen up, I know it's hard to get the truth out there because a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of dysfunctionality. So a lot of people don't have their ears open. You just have to, people just have to go through it and uh, graduate spiritually until it's their time to get it. For the people that do understand, that do have the light in them, we just have to use that light and be even more creative. Since we do know, we do have the light and the will of the universe behind us. I should have just threw that bottle outside. But, you know, that bottle is not going to make a difference. It was really going to make a difference if I actually make something, create something, or get something behind me to really get all this trash out the way, because this damn bridge is the bottle. You know what I'm saying? And I can't get that shit out the fucking grass unless I get it out the fucking grass. So, yeah. So, your spinal cord is your kundalini. That goes down to your penis, up to your brain, and the sperm inside of it is your mucous membrane, which is the smart liquid, sticky liquid that's in like plants and flower nectar, and your brain, the fabrics of your brain and stuff like that. All that is smart liquid. All that is smart membrane, membranic liquid, nectar, sperm. It's it it's the main functioning factor that pretty much talks completely through your whole body and pretty much dictates everything that's going on with you. That's the life force of your whole entire entity, which is your your embryonic mucous membrane. This is why you cough up phlegm, snot, or skeet, sperm comes out of you, or pus, the plasma in your skin, all that. It's just light. It's just smart life force, um, spit, mucus, nectar. Uh, that is what it is. Uh, I wasn't trying to get into this part, but you are built by frequencies and amplitudes and altitudes of frequencies, electrons, protons, and neutrons that vortex your body language into a standing beam that is completely symmetrical. I guess I can go into this thing, man. Completely symmetrical with the universe. People like, where all these fucking cars come from? People like Zaza Ali said that the woman is completely her her anatomy is completely identical with the universe, and so is man. If you do not believe this, because we cannot look at all the universe, maybe one day we can, which we will and we have in the past before. Our ancient ancestors have accomplished it, and we will as well. If you want to see evidence of this, this is pretty easy. Pick up an atlas. Pick up an atlas. I've spoken upon fossils, how uh, we've left behind DNA, how you can actually how nature actually makes art, which is reminiscent to the past. and we just imitate it in our own creations and innovations just to make the world better, but we're really imitating nature, and we are just an imitation of nature in a new and innovative and evolved design. So we are still these people. I mean, we are still nature. We are completely connected to it. We're just recreated. This is what you would call recreation art. It's recreational. That's exactly what it is. It's nature being recreational, recreating. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, that's what it is. Not it isn't to the point that it's completely boring. Everything constantly evolves, and we receive frequencies throughout the whole cosmos. So it's never done. Our artistic vigor is never done, and we will constantly be going throughout combinations in which we exist as long as we will always exist, because everything down to the foundation of what we are is just a frequency, it's just a color. So these colors translate into structures translate into combinations of layers of different forms and formalities and dimensions, and those become electrical currents, and those electrical currents are actually are just strips of information. Thus, we get stories, and this can be as small as an atom or Eve. So I can flow a little bit. So what was I saying, man? Oh, so this would this would account for how you got. Oh, okay. I know where I left off. So, if you want to see proof of this, you pick up an atlas. You pick up an atlas or a globe, and you look at the way the United States is formed, the whole continent of the United States and South America and Alaska. And you look at how Africa, I think above it is Poland, Europe, Greenland, and Alaska too, and Russia. I think Russia, and then next to it is China. Then next to that is like India, and uh, before that is the Middle East. If you want to see proof of that, DMX criticized new generations of rappers, say they are only promoting drug use. It is a blessing for this nigga to still be alive and still shouting out the real, because niggas need to open their mouth. This is some bullshit. Niggas always, niggas swear they this shit. Ain't no bars being spat, you know? And ain't nobody promoting self-worth or, you know, education and shit, but everybody swear to God they the hottest thing on the block, you know? Like, nigga, okay. Niggas live that long to tell, you know? Way you're talking, nigga. Alright, bump your shit in jail, nigga. Like, put some game, put niggas on game, at least something, you know what I'm saying? Like, some nigga. Down to, like, real niggas. These niggas came after the generation of, like, real niggas. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how it was perpetuated, these niggas, they're just on a creative, on a creative platform, just from a creative basis. It's just these niggas ain't fucking with these niggas, man. Like, you not fucking with X and Nas and over them. You just not. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ye took this shit like far on. Like, fuck. going mainstream and pop with Nelly and them, nigga. No, it's just hell no. Y'all not even close. We had them niggas instead of the Fantastic Four, and, all them niggas and shit. Shit, we would still be in the fucking 80s. With everybody trying to get out of jail, but that's we really can't judge one another because they wouldn't have that platform to be themselves if it wasn't for our people in the first place. We still gotta, you know, you know, uh, hold that, be responsible, and continue to let them know that it was about, that was about creativity and bars. Not everybody was like, enlightened, you know, but at least people were at least like trying to put people on game and just letting them know this is what you need to do to get ahead, and it's all a trap, you know. In the 80s before that, they gave us a platform when we showed out, and then 90s, 2000s showed out because everybody was getting money, and now everybody just freed up. You know what I'm saying? Now we need the gate company, the gatekeepers to come back and regulate. So we really can't talk, but we still can because our creativity was there. Bars and putting niggas on game and actually caring about our communities and shit. But we all still family, so we still gotta look out for each other. As we always should have, and we're all guilty of that. But we learning because before I met aliens, before I met actually I was getting my spirit together and I was learning everything from the ground up. So I still had a pretty good idea and I still regulated my own mindset and the people I was around, or at least trying, because I grew up in a dysfunctional household and stuff of that nature, and I was the man in the house and I was trying the best as I could. And you can run the house as a man if your spirit wasn't intact, if you wasn't always being innovative and knowing what's out there on the streets as well as in your house. You know what I'm saying? You had to always be on your P's and Q's. But I fell short when it came to like women and being a breadwinner. Plus, I still had to get educated, and I didn't know the whole entire truth. You know what I'm saying? So I had to fall short because I didn't even know about. I knew about sex naturally, but I didn't know how important it was, and um, I honored the woman, but I didn't have the knowledge of the self so much that I knew that she was my sexual equal. So, you know, beyond means of respecting my whole entire family and myself, I would still be losing a part of. I would still be completely unfamiliar with myself, seeing that the woman was just as much as part of me as I am of her. So even the women that were disrespecting me, or the people that I was dealing with in the hoods, or just out in the streets, regardless of what situation I or they were in, however they was treating me, was losing a part of themselves as well. Because we're all our existence is based upon the electromagnetic attraction we have towards one another. One can't exist without the other. You know, if they die, I die because it would take so. I mean, just biologically, it would take so long for us to evolve. We would just die out anyway. That's something else. But my electricity DNA formula would still be here, so they would still get that information, and soon enough, um, be able to self reproduce and create another man eventually, you know, and evolve into like trannies or it's not. I'm not trying to be funny or anything. It's just that's really what happened. vice versa, because we're living in a universe in which life must go on, and that is my sexual counterpart. So, I'm just saying that we don't know until we know, and then sometimes it's too late to say sorry. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of things that we perpetuated in hip hop early on that we really shouldn't have, but all of it was natural, so it was completely okay. So once you actually know and find out the truth, you're like, man, that was bomb, but I wish we would have known the complete truth to actually put that out there and in our music, and it would have really uplifted everybody amongst all means and avenues and streams. But we had that bit of piece of us, and that's what we presented. That's what we expressed. You know what I'm saying? So we can never judge one another, not even a new generation. Spark that flame, say that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but when you have people out there that's teaching you the truth and telling you the truth and really putting you on game, especially a legend or just one of your elders, the cultivators and the pioneers of the game, even if y'all taking that on a different avenue and y'all even call it something other than hip hop, motherfucker, call it hopscotch if you want, shit. You know, you still need to listen to your elders because they know something. They know some shit, and they just trying to help you out. They just being sincere. They being genuine. You need to listen to people that have created and opened up that door because you're their children. We're all related. We're all family, and y'all got that attracted of news coverage from one of the best for a reason. He opened his mouth and his heart out to y'all. Y'all need to listen to that man because he really telling the truth. Y'all promoting drug use and ain't no real music being put out. You know what I'm saying? Every time them niggas put out music, we heard it. We knew this is the shit. It wasn't we didn't need to skip nothing. We heard the whole album. I'm not wondering what was out. I knew who the Rough Riders were. I'm not looking around like whose brand is it? Like I'm not doing that. I'm not arguing with people. Like we were arguing about who was gonna murder who else, nigga. Like we didn't say if you sucked or not. If you sucked, you just wasn't getting in. But back to this Atlas shit. But it motivated you to work on your shit. You know what I'm saying? It was no offense. It was just to work on your shit. We wanted you to do good. We wanted you to be great. I wasn't hopping on the court if I didn't, skate, with the ball. Nigga, like if I didn't know how to bounce the ball backwards between my leg or forward, I couldn't hop on the court and cross nobody up. You wasn't just allowed. Nobody was gonna let you embarrass yourself. Plus, they was gonna embarrass you. Some people didn't want to stay away from you. People were just murderous. Like, come on now. They letting all these fake people in so real people can't regulate no more and stuff. As soon as we start regulating, we kick y'all out. We putting some real bars out there. It's a problem. So this is what you want to see right here. Now it's hard to actually describe this, but this is what I mean by how we are just an imitative frequency upon this planet. You ever seen the movie King Kong? The movie King Kong or all these jungle native movies, when as soon as they enter a jungle, they'll see like a skeleton of the monster that lives in that area. Or, what I'm saying, stuff like that. I wouldn't say Jurassic Park, not Jurassic Park, but just things of that nature. It's the same thing. Or like a mountain. Yeah, like a mountain of, a monster that was formed by nature. Yeah, in the rocks. Because nature loved him so much that he was actually formed in the rocks. Like nothing made. It was some stories about natives making those mountains and stuff, but exactly my point though. You know what I'm saying? How clouds form and look like things, and you know what I'm saying? It's the same deal. So trying to find a good picture. So here we go. About to put y'all on some real game right now. So check this. I don't know if you can see this, but this is your proof. You can barely see it. Barely see that. Man, come on now. Okay, so you can kind of see it here. Go sideways. All right. Let me see. Man, come on now. Embarrassing me all in front of all my friends. Turn sideways. Sideways. It's not turning sideways. But I think, let me see. So this shouldn't be. That has be some technological thing. Okay. All right. The fuck? What? Is that hoe blinking? Wow. That's crazy. Speaking the truth, and these niggas recording. I don't know if they recording, but they they monitoring every goddamn thing you doing. Apparently, you can see an ultraviolet light or whatever type of invisible light that they may be using in the phone through counter counter perceiving through the technology. That's what I was thinking about the other day, was that there's so many frequencies and different light spectrums in your atmosphere. It's easy to like come up with the idea of the telephone. You know, people see things now, and we're such at a standardized state that people become lackadaisical in the way that they invent things in their inventive ambitions. You know what I'm saying? You have so many frequencies in the air. It's crazy. You know, there's probably there's probably like 100. I don't even know. Like, it's probably millions of hundred, like millions, like it's probably like a crazy number of layered frequencies out there than it is actually germs and viruses and bacteria in the air. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing to come up with like sequence of man-made numbers and route those up into like a randomized choreographed uh number line, give them area codes to like districts or just area codes. That's all I really need to say. And slap a line of energy on there and call it or something. You know, especially if it has like a hub in which one big ass tower can just shoot to or something. Like that's hella easy. You know what I'm saying? It's really easy. It's basically you just configured you configured as many lines, this many lines on the phone, or just this place on the ground, and then you had a, a pole in which attracts the element or that same amount of numbers from your device, and all it has to do is touch it. That's really easy. You know what I'm saying? You just have fun with it. After a while, you just have fun with it. That's really easy. People have gotten really lazy when it comes to inventing. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't wait to get some money or do my did so I can get in the game so I can invent some shit. You know what I'm saying? People take that for granted. That is what all this stuff is. You know, we are gods. We are God together. You know, they made it. You made it. That means you made it. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. And we ain't this lazy. Everybody really real creative, you know. We don't we don't want to see people wearing the same shit that we got on, or we all want to make our own brands. And come on now, they just making you pay for it. I'm really trying to really sidetrack, but different. Just like that light you just seen is just it's lights all throughout the air. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. People think I'm crazy when I talk too, but um. I ain't sugarcoating nothing, but I just know what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I hope you can see this. Okay, they can see that. It's crazy graphic though. Man, what the fuck? Come on. So as I'm being recorded, so this is you can't really see it, but this is Africa. This looks like Africa right here. And as you can see it, or as you know and seen through the globes or the atlases, is that this looks like a skull head with the nose. Now, if it's not, I shouldn't say if, because this is, I have to dedicate this to a certainty of a mindset that can trust me because I'm telling people the truth. So I can't always say the word if. I may mess up and just be speaking so people just get the truth. It's just, what's the deal? I don't want people to feel a certain way and believe that I'm giving them false truths when they've been lied to so many times, and people don't come with transparency. So I'm just gonna give them a place of certainty. Since I did meet these people, they put me on game and they knocked me loose from my blocks. So as I told you, what is above is so what is above is so is below. Your reproductive organs, your penis and your rod and your vaginal area, I guess you can call it a cortex, text, EX. Yeah, I think that's cortex, and the frequency is the instruments, cortex, the vaginal cortex. Yeah, and I'm learning a whole lot more as I'm realizing these words are actually spelling out objects frequently. You know, it's crazy. You just sound them out, and it's actually what they're calling things. Not actually what it looks like. Not entirely. You can have something else that looks like something entirely different. But as you're speaking it, you're actually also seeing it, and you understand it if you understand it. So it's pretty dope that way. But not entirely. Some actually, a lot of things. A lot of things do look like what they're describing things to be, but it also comes back to how they would name like colors, and how we learned our colors and the number system, and that's where we would get the names, and then you find out the names and the color descriptions in your mind, and that frequency goes out to to how you learn these colors and numbers and words and stuff, and then you put those together and you start to understand how they pronounce these words, and how this would go together in the number system, and why you would do this and why you would do that. That's how you actually learn that language, and you know um, understand through pronunciation why you would call these things, and through that you understand like pretty much how every other language and international people around the world understand their languages. If I didn't know how to interpretate that, I wouldn't understand everything. Which brings me to my next point. I was, as I said before, I was just as naive as a lot of these people before I really wanted to go out and learn the truth, and I learned the truth, and them aliens and those teachers slaughtered me. They slaughtered me. I knew a whole lot, and I had a huge foundation of truth that I lied upon, and that I lied upon on. I didn't fib or anything. I was just, you know, that was my foundation. But I didn't really know the whole and complete truth. And if you don't know the whole complete truth, you can keep going around and around and around in Pandora's box. And they can keep spitting different colors and keep spitting different formalities and different words and different historical facts like I'm not racist, nothing, but like white people can tell you this and that or whatever. These different races can tell you this and that and the other. Africans, your own people can tell you this, that, and the other. Just everybody can tell you whatever they want to tell you, and some people can just tell you like what can they can give you false information to keep you off trail because either they know that you don't know what you're talking about, but or they'll just test you to see if you really know what you're talking about, or they just want to be like, F you. I know you don't know what you're talking about because I'm really behind the scenes that's telling people or misinforming people, and this is just what we do. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff that, they'll spit in your ear because you're stuck in this realm of programming that they constantly programmed us to actually believe in. Right? So through that information, through that little bulb and orb of information, they can just keep spinning the wheel, spinning the wheel, spinning the wheel, telling you whatever they want to tell you, and you have to go along with it until you figure it all out. And you be like, man, that don't sound right, and this and that. And you can stay in your ground, and you can be tough with it, and you can know the whole paradigm behind everything that they're speaking of, but there will be nothing in accordance to the actual truth because they erased all of that and they kept it for themselves, and they coming down and they bogging you down with the information that they know that they kept away from you, so you will never get it. And then they set up like different like brackets of information to scare you, like statism or the age of consent, because if you knew the truth about Satanism, and it's really sorcery, and it's really your magic, and it's really your biotechnological means of manufacturing the universe to your own natural instincts to evolve yourself and advance yourself in the universe in practical nature. I don't know if practical is the word, but just with you being in nature, you being one with it, and you actually being God with like devices that you made upon with yourself, and it formulates with you, and you pretty much not only making it a war tool, but you can use this whole universe to your disposal to create and do anything with it. You go off around here. You know what I'm saying? You go hard. You go hard with everything that you would do, and you would never miss a beat with anything you say. You know what I'm saying? And then bust it. If you knew that these kids could have sex just as much as you could, then you would look at them more maturely. You be like, yo, that kid could learn the stock market right now. Like yo, if you literally able to have sex right now, which they are, then you can do everything that we can do. You know what I'm saying? So it's really crazy. And not even putting it on a scale of wanted to dabble into younger children intimately, or you want or those younger children wanted to dabble into anybody from that fashion as well. But then people will watch this video and they'll be like, oh, I'm so fucking scared that he's gonna get caught up and they're gonna see this and they're gonna send him off or whatever. That's exactly what I'm talking about. See, they scare you so much that if you did not know that truth, you would treat those kids more differently. You'd be like, yo, this just really means that you're just fresh off the block from heaven itself, and me being your elder means that you got to learn as much as you possibly can from this universe, from birth, from me, your mother and your father, or your siblings that are sitting around here acting separated and segregated because there's no unity around here, because everybody believes they have to be in different different one family households, and nobody has a sense of camaraderie around here. So they ask you like, what's going on? So everybody split up and being programmed by television, and they're being reprogrammed just like you were. So now they can just spit anything, they can just tell anything to those children. Now those children are scared of like Satanism, and they don't know how to scientifically create or anything. They don't know that, they looking at this grown man this certain type of way because they want his, his sperm, or they want what kind of resources he have, and this little kid looking at this girl with this fat booty, or they getting sent off to whatever because because they can't help paying attention to class because old girl looking bad as she wanna be in third grade teaching these kids. And all these kids should think about it like, man, she bad as a mug. Like, how are they getting that? You know what I'm saying? How are they getting that? How are they telling daddy to come in here and look at this woman? If they didn't know, if they come here and look at this woman, if they didn't know what they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because that means they knew what they were talking about. That means literally our vibration is scaring them to be afraid of what this machine is actually trying to tell us to be afraid of. Naturally, we would be okay with everything that's going on because we didn't have a single thing to worry about. No diseases, no crimes, no nothing. All this behind us, everything around us is formulating into us being dysfunctional in the natural settings in which we would not be dealing with in the first place. And we would be without stress and anxiety. Our electrical current would be completely completely secure. Because if you talk about insecurity, you will be talking about the current of your being. And that's a whole nother story, because it's not a whole nother story, but your whole body, your whole being is electronic. So when you're insecure, it's a dysfunctional correspondence with to the actuality of your reality, which they would call anxiety. You're completely anxious. You're completely anxious of the sporadicism of whatever spontaneous event that is about to take place at any given moment. You have anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And you're stressed. You know what I'm saying? People would say people are tripping when they talk like that, but no, that's the actual truth. That's what anxiety means. And that would make you insecure. When something is off trail and off the flow, that means that you are no longer on the current. That means you are no longer in security. That's what security and insecure means. Security is self-currency. Secure. Self-electronical currency. Secure. You're insecure, that means your flow is off. You are insecure. That's exactly what it means. That's science. That is facts. Straight up. So I'm trying to give you this right here. I'm trying to give you this. So this right, I forgot why I started that conversation. Oh, okay, I got you. I see why I started that. So now, so when they got you like full of anxiety, stress, and insecure, no. See, we wouldn't have any insecurities because we would be so secure with our environment that there would be no reason, seeing that we are completely one with our environment, for anything to be astray. Yes, we would have constant natural transcendence that we would have completely understand of. Oh, the rhino is about to box with old panther dude over here because you trying to eat his baby. That's natural. You know what I'm saying? It's completely natural. There's things we go through all the time. You know what I'm saying? But psychological, societal manipulation, that shit ain't normal. That's not, that'll be something else we'd be going through at a time that somebody put it down there, like, yo, we about to try to make this happen, and this makes no sense because this isn't, there is no means of advancement from this other than you being weeded out for the long run because it isn't cooperative and it isn't long standing and it has no, no, it has no longevity for yourself in it because this is biometrically designed to advance with nature. This will all fall. Everything around us will fall. And nature will continue on. That means this is not a good plan for your genes. Now, in some way, in the form of fashion, you kind of succeeded through your frequency to making architecture. This is your art. This is what you do. But in terms of what you did culturally and through your design and in how you perpetuated yourself or just express yourself to make this happen because you were so animate about getting it to happen through the arts in which you knew you could succeed in shows how great you would be if you just did it for the right things. If you did it in the right way and actually took your time out to actually care for not only others but everything involved with it, your genes would have went on probably for a good, actually probably we would have took you to the ends of time, you to the ends of times, and you would have been up there with our ancestors. But now, as time leaves us, we don't ever want to hear from your frequency throughout nature ever again, and we would destroy this just like we've done other beings and frequencies like this DNA, this nemesis that we're dealing with right now. You know what I'm saying? My genes succeeded because we've made it through all these tribulations, and so is everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? We've obviously had some type of recollection of dealing with this before. With rebels and um, vigilantes and things of that sort all the time. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we have some type of recollection through, you know, all of these instances throughout our genes because we are the ancestors of, people of uh, the people that have come to pass. This ain't new at all, and we will succeed through our genes just like we have those. These are something. This is we are receiving a frequency that we don't like places like this. And this is just completely natural, and we wouldn't receive this frequency and be so dormant and not dormant, kind of dormant, but so covert with our movements if we never dealt with this thing before. Of course, naturally we would do it because we were always being watched and so on and so forth. But we understand how we gotta move. If we didn't actually know how to deal with these kind of things, we would probably act pretty sporadic. As well as um, this person will be more aggressive toward the situation. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't try to use psychology against us. He'd probably be more aggressive, or it probably just happened like this, and this is just something we have to deal with and go through and use our minds to combat with it, to combat with, to combat. Yeah, I think using our minds to combat with it, but I'm just saying, it's just science. So I'm trying to get across to you. This is what I mean. I don't know why I started that. So Africa, this is proof. So what the fuck? So if you look at Africa right there, I think that's I think no, Africa's right here. So Africa, as we know it, looks like a huge brain skull. It looks like a skull. No, no, it looks like a head, like a rhino, a humanoid rhino head, right? So people think this is far fetched, but it's actually what they would call the elephant man. This is what the aliens taught me that my reincarnation is a part of. They actually said I was a complete shamantic, which is a shine, which means a complete replicated design, evolved design of the elephant man. They said that's who I was. And I'm not supposed to say the world or nothing like that, or neither is my bloodline. All we came here to do was to be a message, and the message was sent up in the stars, and it said, plain and simple, that the key to my son is running water. And that is what my name translates to. And it also, my name also translates to the King of all kings, so on and so forth. So it translates to the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And people have said this too as well, and they said people was crazy, but it does translate it to it. And if I did not know the truth as well as this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you, is that the reincarnation of Jesus Christ does not mean necessarily that I'm Jesus Christ. The information and the message that they sent out to me and through the shaman's semantic way of how it corresponds with the celestial movements of the year of the Aquarius, which is my mother, Jennifer Soders, which she is an Aquarius, and it means being genuine in sex throughout um, the man, Soders. This means without this exterior part of nature, we got to be genuine with each other. And what was I saying? It just literally means, the word Jesus means the return to Jesus Christ. Jesus, as I had to learn, this is what I'm trying to tell people, that it does not mean I'm that white dude in the cloak. It means the sun. It means the light. It means the return of the generations, which is Ra, which is my brother that was born after me, Ra, Heru, the return of, but it came from me, but it's not saying that it's either one of us. It's just saying that it is the return of the lights, of the lightsabers, Jesuits, the Jesuses, hey Zeus, hello lights, Greek mythology, Egyptians. That is what it is saying. So you see, this is proof. You see, Africa looks like a skull. This is what they used to look like. No, it looks like a humanoid rhino head. Now, like I was trying to describe to you before, I speak in my Taoist ways because my element is thunder, right? So if my element is thunder, that means I accumulate electricity and then I clap. I'll say something. You know what I'm saying? I rap the same way. Turns out it might be a little true, but I don't know. I'm probably just playing to it and stuff because it's tight. But it sounds a rapture too, a raptor. So I think that's cool. So it looks like a humanoid. Is that it? Yes, a humanoid rhino elephant head. Okay. Right. So this is what they would call. This is what they would say horny is. So as you have a penis and women have the clitoris and it has a horn, as we would see, I'm not saying this is what we've all seen or this is really okay. Let's put it like this. Okay, I haven't really seen skulls with horns on them per se until I saw that. And I may have seen another one once upon a time. But in the kingdoms of Benin, in the culture, in the Indian culture, they have the red dot. In the Buddhist culture, I think they have like, I think that red dot also in the Indian culture is like a gateway, so it's kind of like a vagina on your forehead. And man, and I need to broaden my spectrum. I need to broaden. I have to keep learning. I have to keep learning. But I'm pretty sure there's other fashions and ways that I can explain this. But just skipping over to another platform is the way people have been described to meditate, and then they have the third eye um, elevating from their frontal lobe, their foreheads, going up to the stars, and projecting their the astral self. This is what you would call the horn as well, and this is something else that they imitated. Our ancient brothers and sisters imitated as well. So that's another line in faith that I would have to say that would corroborate with this picture as well. This picture on the atlas, as well as it being completely factual with how life would have started on this planet. They said that it started in Africa, but if you do more research, it would have to have started in the corner of California in Chula Vista, which is also a part of my bloodline. It actually would say that it would start um, in the back of it would start in the back of your head. It would start in the southern part of California, and proof of that is actually also in the atlas. That's because, let me show you. So you have this. Well, people will try to downplay it and be like, okay, so why does it look like a skull? Well, then they have to answer, oh, it just so happens to look like a skull, right, nigga? But you can't really tell nobody why it looks like that. You can just discredit the person that's trying to tell you why it really looks like that, so we don't have to not use common sense anymore. We can just use common sense, you know. So this is let me see. So okay, the United States would be over here. I think people can barely see that. So let me see. They just crossed the street. All right, here we go. So as you can see, the United States would be right here, and then this would be the stomach area. That's Southern America, right here. Southern America. Right here, you would get the head, and that would be the chin horn, and this would be the back of its head, and this would be the top of its head, and then this would be the horn, and that would be the face. So kind of, you can see the mouth starting right here. This is the chin, and this would be the mouth area, and this would be the face, and this is the back of his head right here. This would be the spine going down to the stomach, and you will have Southern America, and from Southern America, come on now, you get the legs or the penis right here. Now as you look over here, this right here from Africa, you get the horn right there. This is the back of the head right here, which would be the skull. and you'll get the penis from right here. Or the legs, this would be the stomach, and this would be the legs or the penis. But as above, so is below. If you look at your hands and feet, you just lift them up to the high to the sky. You can see your feet on your hands, and you can see your hands as your feet. And your hands going down to your brain is, like I said before, is really just the vaginal cortex vortexing the penis and turning into your pineal gland, and then you vice versa. You flip that around. You reverse that, and you'll get the penis on your feet, and you just flip that around. And you can just do the same thing. All you got to do is have sex. It's the same thing. Look, it's the same thing. Telling you. So I know what I'm talking about. So what I say? What is the truth? So I wanna put this out here just so I know. So from this, that's what you'll get. This is the back of the head. So even right here, you'll get the penis right here, and so on and so forth. And then India, it's named India, but it looks like a vagina, like actual vagina. Is crazy. So it would have started from the United States, and from the United States, you get the ice cap from Alaska, from Canada going up to Alaska, and that would be the mucous membrane actually imagining. Come on now. What the fuck? Come on now. I didn't even put in the password. You gonna open it? See, I don't need a password no more. And I just put it online. I open my phone. Dang. Changing. No, I'm playing. Oh, did I? Oh, fuck it. Whatever. So, so, yeah. So it's really so the United States is it'll as oh, man as it's going up from the brain of the United States. Also, seeing that it would be younger and it has less land mass over here, that would mean that it would had been before Africa, and Africa would have been a part of a huge continental landmass. But as you can also see, it would have been a part of the United States and Southern America as well. And seeing that there would be a drop in North America and South America, that would mean that it would be a drop in landmass. That would mean behind it, they would have had more landmass behind it before it would have broken off as well. That landmass would have broken off as well as Africa departing from North and South America. So this all happened over time, but North America can be seen as it is described as a head. Is the actual original elephant man continent. South America, North America, and North America. I was thinking about what does America actually mean? Like, what is the etymology, the actual native origin etymology of that? Since I've become so good at it, America, Rica, America, America. Um, I guess. I mean, that sounds like rats. The letter A has been associated with the elephant. I know E because elephant starts with the word E. I mean, starts with the letter E, but um, I'm just saying Rika is another word for mouse, and they have been said to mimic the faces of elephants. Like, it's so crazy that elephants are afraid of mice. So, well, not all of them are, but they have said that. But they actually resemble mice, and mice resemble elephants so well. So America, I don't want to say it was like that deep, but this is America, America, a real small beginning. And Chula Vista means um man, I think a place of the living or something. Let me see. I remember. I think somebody in jail told me. I asked somebody one day. I was like, "What Chula Vista mean?" It says a beautiful view, but Chula means uh, something else. See, this is why you don't. Yeah, it says a beautiful view, but that's not really not really what it means. Chula Chula Vista. Chula is actually like an animalistic word for like actual somebody with like jaws or something. But this is why you can't believe in everything. Um, but also Chula means it means something else like um the living of the people or something or it probably could mean a beautiful view. Probably could, but I know it meant something else, and you ask different people, they give you different interpretations. Um, I can't be completely wrong, and completely wrong and completely wrong for me actually trying to decipher that as well as America. But I'm just saying, what I'm saying, it's crazy how close those come to be. So it's crazy how those things can come so close to being instinctually animalistic word descriptions, and this is what we're talking about. And it seems like a huge coincidence, and that's what I'm talking about. It's crazy, and I'm doing that all by head, all by my heart. So, like I said, I'm just being transparent. So, you see, the United States is going up as in the man or being the elephant man was actually an elephant self-reproductive being that self-reproduced on his own and self-multiplied, and it started out as a really big telekinetic being that was one with the universe, and it governed it started out governing the planet. So that's a huge gem, that people need to know. And as you as you're replicated, I got scared of this bitch. I didn't know what the fuck that was. I don't know why. Nigga, I jumped. Nigga, I got some electricity in me. Cause nigga, I don't know what was about to happen. But what was it? Yeah, there was they governed the planet, and as I was describing to you that us being so one with the universe, the nature um resembled us, and we resemble nature. We think we're so big and this and that and the other, but us being our frequency would only entail in us losing contact with nature even more. People trip out and they get offline, and no one wants to be a naysayer and fight for the right things. Well, that's gonna get you off trail with the one and only, and that's the universe, and that's being infinite. Her name his name, she's name is Miss Infinite, Miss and Mister's Infinite, and that's what they called the universe. They called it infinite. That's the that's more than Egyptian. That's Nubian. And the infinite was also a description of like the knots in your hair, the curls in your hair, and that was not only for black people but that was for all ethnicities because they were more naughty back in the day, and as we evolved and traveled throughout the planet, we started to gain and be more pressurized throughout throughout not only the universe but uh, on this planet. You know, for the ones that did stay on this planet, and people's hair straightened and so on and so forth. But that's what the internet came from. It was described as the net of your hair. You know what I'm saying? This infinite, which will go on forever, and uh, the your hair. What is it? Your hair is also uh, a replication of how um, genes would form and micro bioorganisms would have latched together to structure your being. Well, part of its structuring process, but another structural process would have to be the process into making your hair, which would be the frequency. So it would just all be in line. You know what I'm saying? And just your hair is just another example of that. That's why they call it the internet, because it was black, it was dark, but it shined, and yeah, and it resembled all of us. You know, regardless if it was black, the Asians came after the black people, so that's why they're shown in their culture having naughty um, braids too. Uh, but everybody was pretty much born equal. I mean, everybody was just equal. You know, we were just fabricators and nymphos. But staying on track, trying to stay on track. So, man, I had another gym. So if you get off track and you choose dissension, you're actually getting off track and you're no longer being aligned with the universe and no longer being aligned with nature. Putting facts upon the board again. Saying that these people not only would not be remembered again, but your frequency would go to a place. I'm not sure if there is a hell, but I do know that nature and the universe does not play, and it is alive. So if your energy does leave and your jinn, goes somewhere, and your soul goes somewhere, of course we still love you and we want you to have the best, and we want you to be reborn so you can actually live a life that you were supposed to live and not torment others and actually learn your lesson the right way. But it's going to be a part of you that actually is going to be judged by nature, Miss Netter, the infinite, and you're going to get your just due. Whether you come back or not, you're going to find out who's really in charge, and it's going to be us. It's going to be all of us, even yourself, that's going to be talking in unison with all of us as one, and we're going to be speaking back to you like, nigga, we knew, and you know that you knew what you was doing, and you still was doing it. Now you must suffer. You're gonna suffer in the biggest way possible, and you ain't gonna like it. You're gonna hit that deathbed, and you're gonna be like, soon as you open your eyes when you close them. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. The transcendence in nature and the universe is an actuality. You know what I'm saying? It isn't a facade. The being that we call God is the infinite, which is the internet. You know what I'm saying? Enter the net. You know what I'm saying? It's the spider web of uh, the cyber world. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Infinite, internet. Just want you to enter the universe. Enter the net of the moon, whatever you want to call it. I ain't gonna try to, you know, blackwash people or nothing like that. I'm just being real, so I'm just keep transparent. I ain't gonna say one-sided because the truth is that we all family. We all got talent and stuff like that. I'm just speaking the truth. So, um, so with that, um, it's not. Is it congruent? Nah, just but everything in correlation with itself. That is another dime, another point in which I'm pointing out that our frequency is aligned with the universe. So just as we may seem small on these platforms, nature is always listening to us and speaking back to us. See, there's a fly, and it's looking at me, speaking back to us in the hugest ways. The first being on this planet, or one of the beings that they had to must really taken a liking to, had to be a being that had that skull rhino face on his face, and and it's two of them. Is one over here, and it would just make sense because then you got the Elephant Man in the United States right here with the was forming his face right there, in the back of his head right there. You look at an atlas, you can see it for yourself. You be like, oh, okay, I see it now, and stuff like that, you know. And then this would be the stomach, and then down there would be the feet or the penis, or the Gulf of Mexico down there would be the penis, and then that would be the stomach, and then you know what I'm saying. It was a self-replicating being, so it could possibly have two parts, and it can have two parts. If not the nose or the stomach, it can most definitely have two penises, and they both look like penises anyways. The ball sack, and then the chin, and the horn. So um oh, and speaking, just making another point. If that is so, and as of above is below, um, and the penis and the vaginal cortex is also a reverse application of the brain and the third eye, you would also get from people saying that you're horny from your reproductive organs because you're trying to recreate through recreation. You would also get the third eye in its imagination in creation to recreate from the horn, and the term your third eye is being horny, or how you where you would get the term horny for your third eye from means of beings that looked humanoid with horns on their heads, and how they were mimicked by our ancestors to wear headwear that pointed up, like the cobra in Egypt or Benin, uh, um, Buddhism, and India. These are all fashions of recreational sex methods. That's why. That's another reason why they honored astrology, because that is our anatomy geographically throughout the stars, throughout outer space. So you had sex with one another. Um, it was you reading the stars, and you re-practicing your original origins, to which you began, and and that would be art, and that would be the result of you being horny. That's why it's so important for you to be artistic and creative here in this world. That's why you do not need to be promoting drugs, DMX. I go hard as shit in this bitch, nigga. I never told anybody about the type of rappers I listen to, because sometimes I listen to Radio Disney and stuff like that when I was little, but I listen to a lot of hard shit, especially when I could get my hands on stuff and everything like that. But we had to act so good because we went to like church school, so every single time they would go in the store, wow, I put that bitch on, I put Missy Elliott and whoever else was on the radio. You could not listen to Nelly because that nigga was hot in her. You know what I'm saying? And well, I never told anybody about the rappers I was listening to, but I could not help it when DMX came out. Nigga, I was telling everybody, nigga. That was what I was talking about. That was my dog right there. Nigga, I told my mama, nigga, why she was at work, nigga. Bring a kid to work day, nigga. I played Where the Dogs At, nigga. Where my dog? No, Where the Hood At. I played that song, nigga. That shit was funny. I mean, it wasn't even funny. It was funny because he was going so hard on niggas, but it was so great to be proud of somebody that you could put your name after, that you could like what you could vouch for, like you go right now. Who your favorite rapper? DMX. Ain't nobody got shit to say about that. Nothing. Nothing. You can't say shit about DMX, nigga. What? Drugs? What? Bitches? Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, and he really trying to go get off of it. He's fighting for his life, and he needs our support. You know what I'm saying? And some people got his vices, and if that nigga knew the truth, and he fell into that lifestyle a little bit, but at least that nigga fought for everything. You know what I'm saying? And still fighting for the right thing. You know what I'm saying? All X need is the right steps, but that's that huge mental block paradigm in which if you do not know the truth, you will cycle in that circle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even famous or anything, and I've been given these tools to tell the truth to people, and it's rich celebrities like him, like X, that don't even know the truth, and he's around all these decorated people. But look at me, I know all this knowledge, to the point that if anybody coming to me and try to tell me this and that other, I'm like, nigga, I met these niggas. Like, I met these niggas who knew my ancestors, literally, straight up. Niggas is thousands, 3,000s, 10,000s years old, and I spoke to them and shit. They call our elders old trees because they got so old they look like trees. Their wrinkles and their definition. You know what I'm saying? People, man, it's so crazy. They taught me everything. That means now anybody tell me some stuff, well, I mean Freemasons and anything, I see anything, nigga. I'm like, nigga, I know what that shit is now. It's like, I don't have to look in the book, and it's like X is still on the book, on the Bible. He don't even know what that really means. Like, nigga's so passionate, he don't even know his real power is biotechnology. He don't even know that he's really practicing voodoo with his words, and he's actually changing people's geographical and biological makeup through the frequency of the passion of his voice, that he's changing people's inside and out. He don't even know that's real sorcery. A type of voodoo is the frequency that you can emit from your being and affects others to make copies of yourself to be successful sexually. He don't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, and I know that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know these things, people can continue to deceive you. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's real crazy. I keep seeing that shadow, nigga. Stop fucking with me. Okay, that's me. Uh, yeah, but nature had to have seen this, and this is why you South Pole. Don't nobody talk about the South Pole, but you seen Alien versus Predator. And these niggas went to the South Pole, whatever, and these niggas see aliens and shit. Why would never nigga keep your focus like a motherfucker on the North Pole for Christmas? But all year, nigga. Oh shit! But all year, niggas fighting to keep that gate closed and damn South Pole. And like, what about the South Pole, Daddy? Don't worry about the South Pole, man. So in this video, I left a note here. It says aliens do not eat people. They use telekinesis to apprehend them. Allure is if anybody worrying about telekinesis, it's just a advanced application that they're able to use that we can just do. So they're able to use projected emotions to project upon yourself, and if you're not strong enough and your spirit or frequency isn't in line correctly enough, they can allure you and be a siren and get you to do pretty much whatever they want you to do against themselves, against yourself, and they can get you to wet your drawers, or beat your, all types of shit. You know, they get you to hit somebody, but if you ain't, but that's if you're aligned with yourself and stuff like that. I mean, that's if you're not aligned with yourself. If you are, your frequency is gonna act on the self. They can move pretty fast. Their military can pretty use their telekinesis pretty fast. Like they practice stuff, and that they made me practice. They were like when they gave me some part of their powers, they were like, make this person look at this light, then spell something on the wall through your telekinesis to make them see it and breathe it. Basically, they would make me touch that person in the car with my telekinesis. Now I have to actually feel them. If I didn't, then they'll be like, okay, you're not a real alien. You can't use your powers or nothing like that. Like, and then they'll make me feel projected feeling, or they'll make me make that person in the car look at some lights or something like that. They would like train me like that. But yeah, basically like so just to keep it simple and plain. Um, but that's actually being able to manipulate the electrons in the air through neurokinetics. But that's simple. That's something we already do. Body language, and sometimes we just do it, ourselves telekinetically by mistake. We just don't ever catch it. Sometimes we do. We're like, oh man, nigga, you psychic, and that's one of the words that they. That's one of the. That's some of the same slang that they used to use all the time was psych or psychic or boy, you so psychic, or they use buzz jokes and all types of shit like that. Um, but since aliens don't eat people, what they do, and which have been, said in past times, another proof point, since they use telekinesis, they do not eat people. They have sex with you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have sex with me. Actually, women did, but it was telekinetic. We weren't allowed to touch each other when they was training because people can actually, as you have sex, you can notice that you actually pour like pollen, like you give off an aroma when you have sex or you're about to have sex, and that's real. You give off sexual energy, and you just imagine what kind of information you're giving out when you do that. Like when you get horny or something like that, you actually smell, and that's you actually pouring. You can actually you can also imagine what type of nutrients you're giving to the to nature and the environment when you guys are pouring and having sex and creating, and juices flying, and you're re-emitting light, which is how everything came to be. You can imagine how nutritious that is to actual nature, instead of putting it in a condom. I shouldn't say that. What I'm saying? I should, but I shouldn't always. But also, I shouldn't sugarcoat things because people need to know. But yeah, that's why aliens have sex with you, because they do have reproductive organs. They want to evolve because they still love you, and they would say you're vulnerable, and you really just there's a lot of things you still don't know, but we're evolved states to them as well, because we went through that before as primate lemur beings, humanoid lemur monkey beings, and we were telekinetic then, and we were extremely scientifically artistic then as well. So I'm gonna stop this video, and that was good.